Welcome. How's everybody doing? Just a little vibe, just a little good time that we're having here. Before we get started, here we go. Enjoy. I got a question for you. Listen. This is beautiful. Welcome everybody to podcast number 3 of Qualified TV. Listen, it's a pleasure to be with you all on this podcast. It's a pleasure to have you all. You don't understand how exciting it is for me to have this platform to speak with you all. I am elated. My name is Dr. George Fabre Jr., aka Dr. G. Pleasure to have you all with me. Listen, keep commenting, keep DMing me, keep reaching out to me. I know some of you don't reach out to me here, but listen, we would love to hear from you here as well. You can also follow us on Instagram. I am Dr. G.Fab. Again, I am Dr. G.Fab, F-A-B. And you can follow us on Facebook, like our page, Dr. George Fabre, and make sure you also follow us here on our YouTube page, our Qualified page. Subscribe, like, share, spread the word. We're here to share with each other. Make sure you subscribe to Dr. George Fabre. It is a pleasure to be with you all, and we want to get right to it. I just want to talk to you all for a minute. I want to have this rhetoric with you all to let you all know that in this journey of life, you may have met some folks. You may have met some people who all they did was say negative things to you every time you proposed or gave them a proposition. These naysayers always said what you were incapable of doing. All they were good for was letting you know, hey, you may be too old. You're 50. You don't have a degree yet, or you're just not fit. Listen, it doesn't matter what they have said. It doesn't matter what they said back in the day. It doesn't matter what these folks feel about you. It doesn't matter even if you don't have the educational background, or you may have had some circumstances that are or that have prohibited you or prevented you from getting to the purpose that you were created for. Listen, get off of your butt. Get off of your butt. Stop letting people dictate who and where you should be in life. Take the limits off of you, because you are still qualified to live a life with abundance. That's why we want to discuss and share with you the top 5 careers. We discussed the first 5. Now we're going to discuss the final top 5 careers that have been doing great during the pandemic. And it's unfortunate because the pandemic has caused millions to lose their jobs, millions of deaths, and counting. And I must say, it is a sad season. But at the same token, we're not going to let that stop us. We're not going to let that discourage us, because as long as you're able to watch me, that means you have been granted the grace of life. So which means you have an opportunity to get up, do something productive, and make sure that everybody that's around you are people who are encouraging your vision. Don't forget also, before we get started with the top 5, go to drgeorgefabre.com. Check out our merchandise. Check out what we have to offer. We have some great merchandise. We have my book, Qualified, The Controversy of Divorce and Remarriage. Check it out. Get your copy today. We would love to hear from you. Your feedback is guaranteed to be read and to be appreciated, as long as we remember to respect each other, because everybody deserves respect. You don't have to agree with everybody, but respect is still important and imperative in this journey of life. Listen, let us discuss the top 5 careers. Number 5, without further ado, we're going to discuss number 5. Number 5, this is one of the career/jobs. And again, these are jobs that you may do full-time as a career, or you do part-time. But you know what? More than one stream of income is always great, because it allows you to create more opportunities and leverage for your family, for your friends, for your legacy, whatever it is. But let's get to it. Number 5. Graphic designers. Listen, graphic designers are great for marketing purposes. They're great for advertising advertising appeals where people will look at what it is that you're promoting. It could be something as you selling as simple as a pen, but the way you promote that pen and why that pen stands out against the rest, your graphic designer has the ability to make your product stand out. Let me tell you something about graphic designers. They develop things. They make things look appealing. They're involved in the production process. They're involved in making your website look phenomenal. They're involved in even getting involved. They do magazine work, premiering folks in magazines. Let me tell you something. Some of the work that you do as a graphic designer, you work on emails. You create logos, digital banners, web pages, workbooks, retail windows. You also work on business cards, flyers. Listen, graphic designers are really important during this season, especially because many of us have opened up our own firms, our own businesses. I just want to let you know, people fresh out the street, you're just learning how to do the graphic design ordeal or learning how to design. Just want to let you know, typically you start at least minimum $15, and that's someone who's new at it, you're not confident in your work or whatever have you. And then when you get better, you can go as high as $30. But let me tell you something, it could be more lucrative once you get the hang of your program. You find a program that's your niche. You find something that allows you to become who you need to be effectively. That's why a lot of graphic designers, they learn Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop. They learn a lot of these different workshops. Listen, a lot of designers, they enroll or create or register into LinkedIn so they can promote their businesses. Not just Instagram, not just Facebook. They are great, but you want to meet with other people at the capacity of business. They also create accounts, Skillshare accounts. Listen, you are great at what you do. Maybe you're 9 to 5. But let's go to the next level with it. Or you may not have a 9 to 5 because of what's going on. Listen, there's nothing wrong with cultivating a skill like becoming a graphic designer. And listen, let me give you something else. Because of what I do outside of my business, I'm able to provide you and offer you different programs in graphic design. But you have to reach out to me and I can give you more information on how we can get started. Let's move forward. Number 4. This is number 4, the top 4th career/job that is doing phenomenal. Some of you may say, you know what, this may not be a big deal. No, it is a big deal, and it is something that people actually do right now during this season. Social media managers. Now, social media managers. Let's have a quick conversation. Majority of you spend at least, if you want to go, you can look at your diagram on Instagram. It tells you how much time you've spent on Instagram. Those of you who spend a great deal of time on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, whatever have you, any social media platform, and you're social media savvy, listen, a lot of businesses, and here's the secret, they may not have the time, the owners may not have the time, or they may not be savvy enough to work on their Facebook accounts. They may not have the skills to work on their TikTok accounts. They may not engage much on YouTube. They may not engage much on Instagram or any of these social media platforms, Twitter, you name it. Let me tell you something. This is an opportunity for you to engage with people. You already do that anyway. Why not do that and get paid for it? All you do as a social media manager with these platforms, you create content. So you're creating content for that business. You're scheduling shareable posts that people will share, because now that will create followings, that create traffic, that creates more money for the business. You run ads. You engage with your followers. And how do you engage with your followers? Those hashtags, things of that sort. Listen, you manage partnerships, because now you're developing partnerships with other people. And when those numbers skyrocket, like on a YouTube channel that you create, and those numbers skyrocket, people want to use your platform to advertise their business. That's more money for you and that business. Let me tell you something. You promote deals. You do all sorts of things as a manager for social media. But here's the thing that is phenomenal. Freelancers who do this, they on average at least make $15 to $20 an hour, depending on experience. But when you're one who's well known, you build your name, you build your brand, people are knowledgeable, or they're cognizant of the fact that you're an individual who does well for other companies. Listen, There are endless amounts of lucrative amounts of money that you can charge people or companies for your services. So folks, do not just remain on social media just to watch people's pages. No, stop just sitting here or navigating and just going through people's folks pages all the time and whatever have you. No. This is an opportunity for you to become a social media manager, create content, do what you gotta do because you're already on social media, and make money for it. And there are folks that are making a tremendous amount of money. Let's get to it. Number three of the top 10 jobs. Number 3, editors. Now, I will tell you right now from personal experience, off top, for my book that I released last year, January 4th of 2020, I paid my editors at least $1,500. And I'm gonna tell you something else. My editors didn't even have to do that much work because I did most of the editing, but the mere fact that they touch your material, you have to pay. And why is it important to get an editor? Because you need the editors to format your book to fit on platforms like Amazon, to fit on different WordPress, to fit different places. You may not have that skill. You need the editor who's able to put your book in ebook format. Let me tell you something. These editors are doing exceptionally well. And let me tell you, here are some things you want to know as an editor. You basically are refining the author's voice. You're going through certain things. You're providing some suggestions, some recommendations. You check facts, spell check, grammar check, punctuation. And again, most editors, they don't even have to go through that process because some of us, we're pretty good writers. So the editors usually just go through the process of just saying, okay, this is a go. There are cases where the editor has to work for their money, don't get me wrong, because a lot of us aren't the greatest of writers, but there are different programs we can use that helps us with our grammar and so forth. But editors, listen, are also able to ensure that the audience will understand the material, and they suggest headlines, titles, depending on if you're using different formats. Some people like to use APA, some people like MLA, you name it. There are different formats that people like to use. Contingent on the format that you're using, the editor has the ability to format your paper, your book, whatever have you, based on that. They don't only edit books, but they edit papers. They do all of these things. I have a good friend of mine. She actually charges to edit papers, and I kid you not, she actually charges at least $120 to edit papers, and it's dependent on what college level or what high school level, whatever grade level you're on. Depending on that, that's how you get charged. And she charges people at least $120 to edit their paper, help write their papers, so forth. Listen, there is a lot of money that you can make, especially if you are great at what you do. People will spread the word that you are the go-to person. And let me tell you something. Editors usually average between $12 to $20 an hour. And that's someone who's just new. But once you're experienced and you're good with content, you know how to write, you know how to put things in perspective, you can at least charge $80 per hour as an editor. Okay? So experienced editors, they charge as much as $80. Some may even go even higher depending on the paper. They may just have a flat rate. But I urge all of you, those of you who are great writers, those of you who love to read, those of you who like to spend time reading content, writing content, the last two I mentioned, this is something you want to capitalize on, because these last two areas, social media managers and editors, those who love to write and who have the ability to write, and you love to read and you love to fix things, you love to put literature in perspective, and you have different ways of approaching, take advantage. Number 2, I urge you all to understand. Number 2 is another one in the same family, content writing. One who's a content writer. Let me tell you something. There are many of us, you love words. I've seen so many people put up great posts, even myself, and I'm not saying my posts are great, but you put great posts that generate a lot of views, a lot of likes. Why not get paid for it? Why not get paid for it? If you're one who loves to write, you love to use words differently, you like to use similes or metaphors when you speak, you just one who likes to write, and you're an individual who are just good at what you do as far as putting words together. Listen, people who work for magazines, newspapers, people who work for different websites, different social media platforms, general businesses. They're looking for content writers. All right, these are people, let me tell you something. Here are where content writers are really recognized. Blog posts. We all know blogs are doing phenomenal because people love to read or read about drama. If you know how to put something in a form of drama, or if you know how to put some writing material in a way where it intrigues and it captivates the mind of an individual, this is for you. You do it all the time for free. Why not get paid for it? Press releases, you're used for that for your content writing. SEOs, articles for websites. Listen, website pages. You're writing content for website pages. You're writing certain things that attracts people and allows people to feel as though you're providing some insight, and you're generating sales for these different websites. They want to use you. Screenwriting and video games. We all know that the video game arena is doing exceptionally well because there are some who have actually quit college and gone full-time to video game competitions and so forth, and they're making millions right now. If you don't believe me, you could Google it, and it's very true. But you're a content writer for these video games or these programmers or screenwriting, and there are a lot of people who want to put out some more movies, some more screenplays, some low-budget films to get started. You like to write. You like to write about your history. You have a story to tell. You're an author. Come out. Become a content writer. Write your own material. Write your book. Write whatever it is. Get paid for what you have. Get paid for the knowledge you possess. Don't just keep it on social media and provide people with free game for no reason. I urge you to get to it. Now, number one, you wouldn't believe it. And people may say, really, that's number one? No, let me tell you something. My daughter, who's actually in 10th grade, she just recently made $150 doing this off of one student. $150. Online tutoring. Now, online tutoring, people may say, what's the big deal with online tutoring? Let me tell you something. We're now all remote. The college that I work for, we're still not on campus. Amongst other institutions that I'm connected to in this region, a lot of people are continuously working remote, and a lot of these students don't get in touch with their professors like they used to. They don't have the face-to-face element anymore. They have to pass these classes and they need help. These online tutors are making a killing right now. As I told you with my daughter, she made $150 helping a college student because my daughter does pre-cal tutoring. And she helped the student with their algebra, and they were successful with their course. He started spreading news around, and now people are calling my child to help them with their homework because she's really good in math. Let me tell you something. During this pandemic, it is very difficult to get in touch with professors from time to time because it is hard to maintain that remote structure. Let me tell you something about this online tutoring program that you can actually put out there. You have an IG account. Put out there, this is what you specialize in. I specialize in science, chemistry. I specialize in biology. Anyone who needs help or tutoring with biology, get in touch with me. DM me, whatever have you. Some of you may say, whatever it is, how can I get known or whatever it is? IG, Facebook. Put your information on a YouTube page. Start doing math equations. Start doing science equations. Help people. There are so many things that you can do. Do not limit yourself. There are some people who need tutoring, not just academically. Some people need tutoring with how to model. I've seen some people who need help with learning how to walk the runway, stride the runway. There are some people who want help with social media tutoring. There are some people who need help with marketing. It becomes a consulting service. Do not limit yourself during this pandemic. I know people have lost jobs, but those who have lost jobs, those who have died during this pandemic, it's just so unfortunate, but you're still breathing. You still have an opportunity. Do not sleep on your gift or the potential gift that you do have, because you spend all that time anyway on social media and all of these platforms. Why not get paid for it? You deserve it. You deserve to treat yourself better. You made a promise on the 1st of January. Have you fulfilled a quarter of your promise? Have you started on your New Year's resolutions yet? Have you even scratched the surface of your New Year's resolution? Do you feel like you're accomplishing your New Year's resolution yet? You're watching everybody do well. You're watching people put posts. You're watching people do well. All you're doing is beating yourself up, wishing you were like those. No. Stop beating yourself up. Get out there. Market yourself. You have a gift. Some people you may not be talented with music. You may not be talented with singing. You may not be talented with speaking publicly. But you know what? You may be one who's highly intelligent. You have the ability to do well in chemistry, biology. You may be a great algebra student, geometry student. You get math very well. Some people, they have a hard time learning these subject matters, but for you, it's real easy. Put yourself out there. Become an online tutor, because that area right now is number one and is generating lucrative incomes. Online tutors make at least between $12 to $25 an hour. And when I say $12 to $25 an hour, $12 to $25 is contingent on the subject matter. It depends on the subject matter. Some people, it depends. It may be even more. And if you're one who's great at what you do and people love what you do, like you're one who provides Zoom workshops and so forth, you can charge even more money. And how do you market your services? You can go on Wyzant, WYZANT, or you can go on tutor.com, put yourself out there and let people know that you're available. And don't forget, you can also sell through Skillshare. Don't forget to create also a LinkedIn account. It is very imperative that you all capitalize on these resources. Now that you have the top 10 careers/jobs that have done exceptionally well and generated lucrative salaries during this pandemic, during this hard time, during the time where folks are losing jobs left and right, during the time where people don't know where they may lay their head. Now that you have these top 10 career/jobs in your hands, what are you going to do with what you have in your hands? What are you going to do with this resource that you've been provided? What are you going to do with that? I urge all of you, if you're not sure, if you need help with your resume building, if you need help with building your resume, if you need help with learning how to approach this, subscribe, reach out to us. We'll provide you these resources. I promise I will share everything that I have with everybody who subscribes to my channel, who encourages us, who supports us, who shares our videos. Listen, this is not only for the adults, these are for the youths. These are for the upcoming children of tomorrow. Some of you are the children or the youth of today. Do not sit around and watch people do well. Do not wait until you're older to develop these career gifts or to develop these disciplines. Start right now. Don't let anybody stop you. Get rid of anybody who's negative. Get rid of anybody who makes you feel like you don't qualify or you're not a good fit for any field. Because let me let you know, those who are blocking you or stopping you are just doing it because they're envious, and they need to be around to watch you when you finally get a seat on the table. But you won't get a seat on the table if you sit around and just listen to these resources and do absolutely nothing about it. You are able to make something out of the worst situation. This pandemic is here. It's one of the worst things, but it is an opportunity also to elevate. It's an opportunity for you to impart excellence, to engage in excellence. Don't let this time, don't let anything stop you. And I won't say it enough, and I'll never stop, because you are still qualified to win and overcome all obstacles. It's your time. It's your season. Let's do it. All of my qualifiers, my family, my friends, I want to take this moment to thank you all for watching this podcast. We have more to come every Thursday at 6 p.m. Expect to get some new material, new content that we will be sharing. We'll be covering all types, all sorts of topics. Don't miss out. Listen, follow us, subscribe. Do all that you got to do. Subscribe to our YouTube page. What are you waiting for? Let's get it done. Let's do this together. Share, comment, provide all the insight that you have. Let us share and learn from each other respectfully and with love. One more thing. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I am drg.fab. Also on Facebook, Dr. George Fabre. And don't forget to like our page. And also, if you want this merchandise, you want all these apparel merchandise and all of the things that we have to offer, our book, The Controversy of Divorce and Remarriage, don't forget to go to drgeorgefabre.com. Again, drgeorgefabre.com. I appreciate and love all of you all. See you next week 6 p.m. Peace.